Hey guys, it is me, 8744. Today, guys, we're talking to you guys about 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, guys. So today we'll be doing our group stage prediction. Now, I will do a follow-up video for the knockout stage predictions, and we'll be just predicting the group stage for today. So this will be a more an in-depth explanation. So if you're watching the knockout video, I recommend you watch this one first before you watch the knockout stage. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So let's start with Group A, guys. So Group A, coming in last place, I have is Ethiopia. Now, for me, I just don't really think this Ethiopia team is all that impressive. And like I said, I just don't really think they have enough quality to compete here. Now, I do like this player named Genet Kebede. As a name, he's got 32 goals and 61 appearances. It is definitely a very good goals to game ratio. Very impressive indeed. And I think he could be the player that could maybe spark some life of Ethiopia. That said, though, it's going to be very difficult for me to see them getting anything other than fourth. Maybe third on their best day possible, but even I find that to be a bit of a stretch. Third, I'm going to go with is going to be Cape Verde Island. I was really impressed with what Cape Verde did against Nigeria. You know, they got a draw and a win against them, which is quite amazing. And to be quite honest with you guys, yeah, is the way they just played was incredible. And I just think that this team in particular is really amazing. You got Ryan Mendes, who's great, Julio Tavares, then you also have Marco Soros, and it's just a very interesting, well balanced team. You could see the European based players, and you could see and how unique it is. It's a lot of European based players, and I think that could be the catalyst to give them the spark for that third place. Now, I do think second they could challenge for, but I find that to be a bit of a stretch because I think two nations particularly have outdone them that. But I think they could challenge. I think they could challenge. Remember, guys, in the Africa Cup of Nations is always a dark horse pick, and I think this could potentially be one to look out for. So I'm gonna say third, but don't be surprised to see them get second or first. Okay, as second, I have it is Burkina Faso. I really like this team Burkina Faso has here. Some great players. Obviously, you obviously have Bertrand Traore, who's a really good player. Then Edmond Tapsoba, then um, Abdul Tapsoba, Eric Traore. It's a really good team here, and I just think that this team is really amazing. Now, the one issue I do have with this team is that there is no Lassina Traore, who I believe plays for Shakhtar Donetsk, and his presence could be a huge miss for Burkina Faso, and that could make things difficult to get that top spot. That said, though, I think they should have enough quality to, at the very least, get third. So I'm going to say they get second. Okay. And then first we have here is Cameroon. I really like this Cameroon team they got here. Oh, Nana's a great goalkeeper. Obviously, you know about him. Obviously, you also have Trouble Moteng, Toku Ikambi comes to mind. And I just think that this is a great team they have here. And they even topped the group in the qualifiers ahead of I believe it was Ivory Coast. And I actually didn't predict they would top it, so that was a really good achievement on their part indeed. So Samuel Goethe is also a really good player. And like I said, guys, I just think that this is a great team. You're also hosting this tournament as well. Host nations typically do well, and I think they'll top this group. So let me go ahead and reiterate my group stage predictions. I have Cameroon topping the group, followed by Burkina Faso, then Cape Verde, and Ethiopia. Now remember, guys, there's going to be the four best third place teams, and I'm going to say this right now, guys. I think Cape Verde will be one of the best third place teams, guys. I'm going to make that call right now. Okay, so let's move on over to Group B. Okay, so coming in last, I have is Malawi. Like I said, guys, this Malawi team for me, I just don't really think they have enough quality here to compete. As you guys can see, even the Wikipedia page doesn't even have their caps and goals listed, which is really, really unfortunate. And I just don't really think they have. I just don't think they're going to do it, guys. Just don't really think they're going to do it. Um, there is one player though that I think could be interesting. I would keep an eye upon it. It's Charles Petro, plays for Sheriff Tiraspol, and we obviously know how good Sheriff were in the Champions League. So keep an eye upon him, and maybe potentially Daniel Kodani as well. So let's see how they do. I'm gonna say they finish last. Finish last. Coming in third place, we have it is Zimbabwe. I think the Zimbabwe team is pretty solid, as you guys can see. Once again, guys, similar to what is it? Malawi, they don't have the caps and goals listed, which is very, very annoying indeed. But I just think that they're gonna. I think they'll edge third. Admiral Moskwi, he's a good player, plays for Luton Town. Then you obviously Tino Kaduri, plays a pretty good player indeed. And yeah, I just think it's gonna be difficult for them. And as you guys can see, there's so many players that don't even have pages here listed. So yeah, I'm gonna say they get third, just about. And then coming in top two, obviously second, I have it is Guinea. I just think this Guinea team is pretty solid. They have some great talented players. Obviously, you guys, Sidube Sumet, then Jose Canta. Um, Obviously, you also have Naby Keita, who's also really one of the best players for Liverpool. Then you guys Elex Mariba, and then obviously you have Maudou Kani. It's a good team, guys. It's a good team indeed, and I think they'll just have enough to get second. And so yeah, let's see how they do, man. Let's see how they do. Obviously, you got Ali Keita as well, who's also a pretty good, solid goalkeeper. And then obviously Musa Kamara. It's interesting they both got 18 appearances. So yeah, let's move on to the top in the group. Obviously, it's Senegal. Senegal for me is a class above every other nation, guys. One of the tournament favorites as well. They got some great players. Edward Mendy, obviously, a very good goalkeeper for Chelsea. He's been amazing. Koulibaly. Then you have Abdou Diallo. Then you obviously have Buena Sarr. Then you got Idrissa Gueye. Then obviously you have Sadio Mane, Ismail Assar, Keita Balde. Then you got Bola Dia. It's a great team, guys. This is a great team, and I do think they could once again make a deep run as they did in 2019 edition, where I believe they lost in the final to Algeria. So I'm gonna say they top this group. So my Group B predictions are Malawi bottom, Zimbabwe third, Guinea second, and first I'm gonna say Senegal. Let's move on over to Group C, guys. Group C. So let's start with last place in the group, which is Comoros. I think this is a good team they have here. A lot of French-based players, as you guys can see here. And it's a very interesting team. They have one really key player that I think will be big for them. Is Alfardo Ben Nobni. He's a very good player, plays for Red Star Belgrade. And then obviously you have Yosef Machungi. So I'm probably butchering a lot of these names. And yeah, it's a very decent team, but I just think it's gonna be too difficult for them to get top two. I do think they could battle for third because one player's form for his club has been really, really awful, and so maybe they could maybe battle for third, but it's going to be fourth to third in my opinion. So I'm going to say they finish fourth though. Third I have is Gabon. Gabon for me, man, it's really tough, and obviously you got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who's their most notable player. He's not been great for Arsenal this season. He's been really struggling, and that's why I said that I think they could potentially get third Comoros because of how bad Aubameyang has been for his club. That said, though, they still do some good other decent players that comes to mind. Then you got Dennis Borgana, 7 goals, 25 appearances. You also obviously have Mario Lemeri, and obviously you also have this guy who's also made a ton of caps, Bruno Mangi. So, like I said, I feel like it's a lot of burden on Aubameyang, and if Aubameyang cannot carry this team, I think they're gonna really struggle. So I'll say they just about get third, and I think they will be one of the best third place teams. Gabon. Okay. Second, I have is Ghana. I just think this Ghana team is really, really interesting. Obviously, you got the Awu brothers. Then you obviously Andre Awu, Jordan Awu. And I just think that's really interesting. Obviously, you also have Thomas Partey, who's a really good player. And I just think that's for this Ghana team in particular. They're going to have to really improve on this because, like I said, they were so good 2014, 2010 World Cup. And then ever since the 14 World Cup, they've kind of gone on a downward trajectory. They haven't really been that great. And so this will be their chance to really kind of make amends, and maybe hopefully do well in this competition. I'm really keen to see how they do, especially how Thomas Partey does for Ghana in particular. So, yeah, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. So, I would definitely keep an eye on the Our Brothers and Thomas Partey. I think those are the players that will be important for them. And then finally, top of this group, obviously, has got Morocco. Morocco is actually my tournament pick, and they're actually my pick to win this competition, guys. And I think they have a great team in Avi. And they got Youssef and Naziri has been really good. Al-Kabi. Obviously, you have Sofani Boutfal. Hakimi, Roman Saiz, Banu as well. It's a very good team, guys. Barkok as well. It's a very good team. Now, there is one key absentee, which is Hakim Ziyech. He will not be playing for this team, so that could be a huge, huge loss for Morocco. And let's see if they can really replace do better because they were pretty disappointed in 2019 edition, getting into the round of 16. So I would like to see them. They should at the very least get to the quarterfinals, in my opinion. And with that kind of roster in hand, they should be challenging for the AFCON. So let's just see how they do. So I'm going to say they top the group. So let me reiterate my predictions. I have Morocco first, Ghana second, third, Gabon, and fourth, Comoros. Let's move on over to Group D, guys. Group D is the very interesting one, a very key matchup indeed, one matchup to look out for. And I'm going to say Sudan will finish last, guys. Sudan will finish last. As you guys can see, a lot of Sudan local players here, guys. And as you guys can see, a lot of information is missing. Their ages and birth, everything like that. And yeah, this is very very interesting. So I think Sudan's gonna really struggle. Obviously, I'll keep an eye upon Mohamed Abdurrahimi. He's a very good player. I think he's one to look out for. And yeah, so let's just see how they do, guys. I think this is a team that could maybe get third. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm gonna say they finish last though. Okay, and the third I have it is Guinea Bissau. I just think this Guinea Bissau is really interesting. They have a lot of Portuguese based players, which is really interesting. Obviously, you got Frederick Mendy, who's interesting. Then you got Jorginho, not the Italian one, the Polish one. And then obviously you got Pele as well, Sorimane as well. It's a very interesting team, Guinea Bissau, and I think they could honestly challenge the Mame Balde, Jose Mendes. So yeah, very interesting indeed. I think this is going to be one of the best third place teams, by the way. And then my top two guys, let's discuss, guys. Egypt or Nigeria. I think it's going to be a battle between these two. Now, it's a tough call to make because I normally would have picked Nigeria to top this group. I normally would have. But I feel like when Nigeria have been really underwhelming these last couple of years, and the qualifiers especially, and with the new coach coming in, I think that could make things very difficult for Nigeria. And we've seen how Nigeria have been very underwhelming as of recently. So I'm going to actually go with the surprise pick here and say that Egypt actually tops this group. I've been really impressed with what they've been doing in their new coach, Egypt in particular. So I think Egypt could steal that top spot. So I'm going to say second in this group, guys, is going to be Nigeria. Obviously, Nigeria have a very good team here. Obviously, we know about the team. They obviously got Ian Nacho, Chukwueze, very good players. Amin Musa as well, very good. Then Alex Ubi, Wilfred Ndidi, Aruba, and it's a very good team, guys. But the problem with Nigeria is they never seem to get it together for these kind of competitions. They always seem to struggle, and I just think that for Nigeria in particular, this is gonna be really tough for them. I just think that with the new coach change and missing some key players like Osimhen, who will not be here, who I think is a big, big loss for them. I think they could really struggle in this group. They should have enough quality to at least get second, but I think for topping this group is going to be a big challenge for them. So let's just see how they do, man. Let's just see how they do. And yeah. And the first in the group, guys, obviously, I have Egypt here. Like I said, guys, I just think this Egypt team has been looking really solid under Carlos Queiroz. And I just think this Egypt team has been amazing, And the crazy part is that Mohamed Salah hasn't really need to do his part. Like in the qualifiers, I don't think he even scored a goal for them, which obviously isn't great. And you could make arguments as both good and bad because it's obviously good that they're not relying upon him, but it's obviously bad because obviously, he needs to step it up, right? So I just think that if Egypt can be more of a collective unit and really not rely on Salah, I think they could really do well in this, Obviously, you have Mohamed El Neni, very good player, and then obviously you got Mustafa Mohamed, Omar Kamal, and Omar Marouche. And like I say, guys, this team is still pretty good. And we're seeing how good they have been. And I feel like this team is playing a lot better under their new coach, Carlos Queiroz, compared to the previous coach. So let's just see how they do, man. I think this team could do really well. And they obviously got Trezeguet as well, a very key player indeed. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that. So my predictions for this group would be Egypt first, Nigeria second, Guinea-Bissau third, and of course, last Sudan. Let's move on over to Group E, guys. This is the penultimate group, guys. So coming in last place, I have for this group, it is going to be Syria Lyon. As you guys can see, right, guys, it's a very interesting team they have here. Obviously, got Sulik Kaki, who's a very interesting player, and their top goal scorer is Mendo, and Kamara actually, he's got the most goals. He plays for Rangers, 5 goals and 7 appearances, which is pretty nice. And then you obviously got Mustafi Bundu. I just don't really think they're gonna do much here, guys. Sorry to say. Most of the players, as you can see, are Syria Lyon, localized players, and I just think it's going to be a tough challenge for them. It's going to be tough for them, and it's going to be very difficult for me to see them get anywhere above third. I think third is doable, but I think fourth is their ceiling, in my opinion. Third, I have in this group, it is going to be Equatorial Guinea. I think they have a really good team here, guys. Look to see how many Spanish-based players they have here is quite insane. Emilio News, keep an eye upon him. He's their captain. And he's definitely one player to look out for. 13 goals and 20 appearances. And it's interesting, he has no club attached right now, which is really interesting. And it's definitely very interesting to see how they do. Luis Nevelo as well. Keep an eye upon him. And yeah, man, I think this team could do well and maybe surprise some people. And yeah. Okay. So let's just see. And then second in the group, guys, it is going to be Ivory Coast. I just think this Ivory Coast team, They have a good team. I do like their players. They have obviously got Nicholas Pepe, Wilfred Zaha. Obviously, I know they have Sebastian Haller has been amazing for Ajax in the Champions League. I know. It's just that I just feel like from Ivory Coast, whenever they come to these kind of competitions, they always underperform. They always underperform. They have so much talent on paper, similar to Nigeria in the sense that they have so much talent and they always find ways to underperform. And yeah, man, like I said, guys, let's just see how Ivory Coast can do. I love if they can, get to like a semis or semis. That would be pretty impressive. Willie Boley as well, Frank Kessie as well, one player to look out for. And yeah, let's just see how they do, man. I just think they're gonna underwhelm. And yeah, the first we have it is the big one, guys. Algeria, guys, the defending AFCON champions. They have been amazing, guys. And I just think that Algeria in particular have been super strong indeed. Obviously, got Riyad Mahrez, who comes to mind. Islam Selami, Brahimi, Belali, Unas, and they got Benacer. Actually, Benacer's not even in the squad. Dang, I thought he was. Actually, he is. My bad. What am I saying? Sorry. And then obviously you also have Yusuf Atal, who's been really impressive. And like I said, guys, this team is really solid, guys. And it's really hard for me to see Algeria not winning this, Even though I didn't predict them to win it, I think they'll go far, guys. I think they're going at least the semis. I mean, this is a great roster they have here. Very good players indeed. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do back-to-back. I wouldn't be surprised. Ben Rama as well. Oh, man, this is a great team. Great team indeed. Keep an eye upon this team, guys. This team can be really, really dangerous. And, yeah, keep an eye upon them. So my top four, my predictions for this group would be Algeria first, second Ivory Coast, third Equatorial Guinea, and fourth Syria Lyon. And then finally, we move on to the final group. We have right here, it is the last place, which I have is Mauritania. I think Mauritania is going to get last. Like I said, I just think that they just don't have enough quality to compete here. Adama Ba is a really good player. Kase Kamara got 2 goals placed for India in the club, which is pretty interesting. Mohamed Ali. And like I said, guys, I just think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to struggle big time, and it's going to be difficult for me to see them do really that amazing here. Abdul Ba is also their captain as well. Keep an eye upon him. Third is, I'm going to say Gambia. I think this is a Gambia team that is a sleeper pick. I think this team could go on a deep run here in this competition. They have some quality players. Asen Kisisi, Lamine Jallo. And, it's a really interesting team they have here. And I just think that this team in particular could be a surprise team. And like I said, guys, there's always a surprise team in these kind of competitions. So keep an eye upon Gambia. And I think they're going to be one of the best third-place teams, by the way. And then obviously Sadi Janko as well. Keep an eye upon him. Very good, interesting player. And then obviously Abrime Daorbo, which is really interesting. So, yeah. And then finally, we have our second-place team, which I'm going to say it's actually going to be Mali. I think this Mali team has got some great players indeed. Obviously, I really like the player of Hamadou Traore. And then also you have obviously Ibrahim Kone, who's a really good player. And then El Bilal Tsari. And I just think this is a great team. Amadou Haidara, obviously another important player. Adama Traore plays for Sheriff. We know how good Sheriff has been in the Champions League. Bissouma. It's a really good team on paper, and I just think they have a great team here. And it's interesting because I believe them and Tunisia were in the same group as 2019 edition, where I believe they actually topped the group ahead of Tunisia. This time around, though, I think they're going to finish second, and I'm going to actually give first to Tunisia. I just think Tunisia is going to get revenge, and yeah, I just think this team is going to... I think that match is going to basically determine everything. And the first I have is Tunisia. I think Tunisia is going to get revenge, guys. I think Tunisia is a team that is very much overlooked. A lot of people seemed to underrate them, and they've seemingly done well in the like competitions. They got to the semifinals, the last AFCON, which was really, really impressive, and they came second in the group. And like I said, guys, they got to the Arab Cup final. They beat Egypt as well, which was pretty impressive. So I think Tunisia, man, got to give it up to them. I think they have some great players. Welbe Kaziri is a very good player, and then you got Maskani, who's a very good player then. And I just think this team is really good, man. This team is a really underrated team. And keeping up on the Ferg, Ben Mustafi. And I wouldn't be surprised to go in a deep run here. A dark horse there. Omar Rakek as well. Very good players indeed. And so, yeah, that is my AFCON prediction. So let me reiterate here, guys. So I'm going to say Tunisia tops the group. Mali comes in second. And third, I have, it is Gambia, and fourth, Mauritania. So those are my AFCON predictions, guys. I want you guys to comment down below your predictions as well. Should be very interesting. Of course, guys, I will be doing a follow-up video for the knockout stage. And if you guys did enjoy this video, guys, I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure you guys check out my channel preview for more in-depth explanation. Like this video as well. Comment down below. Make sure you guys check out my platform from check out the description for my other platforms. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.